Well, I can't sleep. It's about 5 in the morning. Yeah, it's about 5 in the morning. I gotta run George around in the morning. He's been like all crotchety and mean. And I had a stink bug in my darn bed, which makes me nuts. But anyway, for the stress and everything, I just can't sleep tonight again. I guess hopefully a cat nap during the day. No, don't do that one. You gotta do the one in the kitchen first.
I just listen to screws.
No, don't even bother with that one until you get the kitchen one. We have to disconnect the kitchen one. You start at the beginning.
Well, find out where the feed is.
It's in the kitchen. You got the screwdriver?
But that, wait, come here. Look. Look. That goes to the kitchen. This one junctions.
It doesn't matter. You got to cut it at the kitchen. That one has nothing to do with anything. It's the one on the wall.
Alright, then we'll do that. But if we're going to loosen up the screws, so... How do I get involved in it?
Did you find your screwdriver?
I got one in my hand. How do you think I loosen up the screws?
Alright, we're going to cut it at this box here. We're going to cap it and cut it. Yeah, it's a direct line, so this is going to be nice and simple. We're just going to cap the two. Okay, that's all wrapped up. We're going to put the cover on. Okay. It's all sealed up at that junction box. Everything past that junction box to the right of it is ready to be pulled out. This line appears to use its own breaker. Unless there's a junction box inside of there.
It's right there. It tells you which, it's written on what to shut off. Kitchen, showroom, lights.
It only runs those two plugs, George. It only runs those two outlets that we just terminated.
Here.
You have one breaker that only runs those two.
Here. Okay.
That's got nothing to do with this line.
Shuts off the electricity in these rooms.
Not to that. That has its own breaker. It
has its own breaker. It tells you what it's for, showroom. That's how they did it. Kitchen.
Right, well, the one that says showroom only runs those two outlets. Unless there's a junction box that you cover up in the wall.
It's written out.
It doesn't have a stove on it. It has two outlets on it.
It has the outlet written on it for their what do you call it? Their ceramic stove thing. It's all broken down on what, okay, on what it's for, which ones work what.
It has one breaker that goes to those two outlets.
It tells you which one it is, Wayne. I'm trying to tell you. Exactly. This is how...
Right, but you keep bringing up stove and crap like that, and it doesn't run the stove and all that. It runs two outlets only. That's it. There's one breaker in there that's going to run those two outlets only. It tells you which one it is. Yeah, well, we're going to test for that, and then we're going to find out if that's only running those two outlets. If there's no junction box behind the wall, then we'll just pull the whole breaker out.
You just flip the switch.
No, we'll pull it out.
Why?
So that nobody activates it and kills themselves later. You got to pull the whole thing out.
It's on a switch. It's on a double switch.
You either got to leave that termination box up that I left up there, or put a new one in farther down line, or remove it.
This box is coming off.
Yeah, well then we got to put another box over here, or pull the whole breaker out.
Wait.
One or the other, George. We're not just going to leave wires hanging in the wall.
They don't go in the wall, they go inside the box.
They don't go to that box.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Look at where the pipe goes.
The pipe goes right here.
Look where the pipe goes. It's on the outside.
It goes.
See where it flips over?
It goes right there.
No. Look at where the pipe...
It's on the outside.
Look at where we just cut.
It's a skinny...
Follow the pipe that goes to the outside wall.
It's one with the two junctions.
The one on the far outside.
Right.
Now if you look in here, there is no junction box, so we either have to put one in or eliminate it. Right to the breaker, which means we cut a little hole in the wall, make sure there's no junction box there. so that we can pull all this crap out. You still need to cut these pipes, and then we pull it. We could just leave the breaker in if you want, but we're not going to have it hooked to anything. You can't have tails just hanging in the air that people are going to turn on at some point and burn the house down or kill themselves.
You just tape it. One needs to...
No, you don't just tape it. You have to put a junction box on it. We could take that one if you want. We could take the one off that we just covered and use that junction box. You don't even have to spend money on a junction box. We just put the junction box right here closer if you want. It doesn't matter.
To this pipe.
I'm not just leaving wires just hanging in the atmosphere. Yeah, that's dopey. And not only that, if your house burns down, they're not going to pay on it. It's just half-ass wiring. You don't do it that way. You have to terminate it right, or pull the whole circuit out.
So this piece here comes all the way off from the bottom.
That's got nothing to do with anything. You can't just leave the wires hanging. You got to cut it.
You don't have to hang the wires. You're taking a pipe off.
Yeah, and we're going to put the junction box further down, or else we're going to take it off at the breaker and pull everything out, and you got to pull the pipes out and everything.
Let's see. We can put it once that's cut on the other side. What the fuck?
You don't cut it yet. It's live.
I know.
I didn't cut that part.
Once you do it here, you can leave it right where it is, and we put a box right here, right there, where that pipe comes up like that.
We can put it anywhere on that pipe you want. We'll
put it right up over here, right at the bend, so you can get at it.
Alright.
And that's the best way. We don't need to do all of that. In case
well, wherever you're going to want to cut it. Well, first we got to figure out which breaker it is.
Bend, right where the bend comes up, where you can stick that little junction box. Because this other stuff comes right off.
You need a sawzall or something, George.
Wayne, listen to me. I undo that. Okay, I undo that. That's pieced.
What's that got to do with it?
This whole piece comes off. Okay.
That's got nothing to do with anything.
And the other piece I cut, I could just pull right out. All I got to do is cut it in one spot on the other side of the wall. Then this little section from the wall to here comes off. Okay. This is another little piece. That's a whole piece. That's how
that piece isn't going to make a difference. If you cut on the other side, it'll just pull out through the wall. It won't matter. I wish you had a sawzall. It won't matter.
I'm not pushing the whole thing out of the wall. Okay? I'm not pushing the whole... Once it's not live, I take this off. Okay? And hammer that and loosen that stuff up. And I take it off from here. It's one piece.
Let's figure out which breaker it is then. Okay, I got this hooked up. I undid it.
You want me to shut one off?
Okay, shut one off at a time, George.
This is 5 and 6.
Nope.
This works inside here. This outlet.
Next one. Nope. 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 Next one. Nope.
Okay, then it's on the main breaker.
No, you can't go by the main breaker. It's not on the main breaker. It's bypassing the subfeed box then.
Well, there's another...
You got to go outside. I'm going to have to do it on the phone.
One here, Wayne. There's another switch to the main.
George, that whole subfeed box, if you just tripped all the breakers and just didn't lose it, it's coming off your other box outside and bypassing the
main
box.
right here that shuts off. You don't have to go outside.
It's not the main, though. You need to you need to figure out where this breaker is, or we aren't going to be able to use it.
There's a main above the box.
That main's not even going to shut this off.
Well, we'll find out.
Go ahead, shut the main off, George. Well, that did shut it off. You must have missed the breaker.
Wait.
Turn it back on again.
I hit all the switches.
You must have missed one. Turn it back on again. It's not running direct off the main. Unless somebody really half-assed did it.
Wait.
Start with the other switches again. You get one of them is going to work.
Well, that's the main feed.
You can't go by the main. Do the other ones. One at a time. Shut them off one at a time. You must have missed one. One.
I didn't miss any.
Shut it off. No. Turn them all off, George. Except for the main. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
They're all off.
Well, something's miswired in your subfeed box then, because it can't jump right off the main. We're gonna have to open it.
The main shuts all of this
That's
off.
not a main. That's another subfeed box,
Yeah,
George.
that shuts everything off. That's
It shouldn't be wired right off of that though. They must have another subfeed box off that.
That shuts everything off.
We're gonna have to look in the wall.
That'll shut everything off up here. Okay?
This is miswired, George.
Oh wait.
I'm telling you,
When you shut that off.
that other branch shouldn't be only coming off of that. It should be coming off of the
shut that
subfeed
off,
box.
there will be no electricity here.
Well, George, that's not how they wire stuff. You aren't supposed to wire stuff direct off the darn main subfeed.
The main box.
You aren't supposed to branch a main subfeed into another subfeed box and two outlets. That's not right. Okay, something's screwed up with that. We're going to have to see what's going on in that box. We're going to have to get at that box. Well, here's the problem. They took this 100 amp breaker from the subfeed box, and somebody ran a bypass of this yellow wire to the subfeed box, which would run the other two outlets. I do not think this is to code, but we're eliminating it anyway. Okay, there we have it. The subfeed box is out. Well, George got to remove his dead dead electric wires. I pulled the wires out of the pipe, rather, this dead pipe. And pull this one out. That'll eliminate this whole circuit, which apparently ran off the subfeed box. It wasn't shutting off the whole thing like you're saying, but it's done now. Well, it's a little after midnight. I'm running a Seagull box. You can see why I liked this particular garage, because there's a lot of light. So I can do this. Here's the box. I'm going to put it in the back. Then I'm going to probably work on a little bit of paperwork, then go to bed. I doubt if I'm going to be doing any more packing. I would have left this there, but this stink bug problem at the apartment is out of control. I killed about 18 of them, and I don't want them to contaminate this box, so I'm going to bring it here. Hopefully I don't have any contamination in this unit. I do in the other unit on the other end of the complex. So other than that, I'm just battling revisionism. People have convenient memories of different stuff, and it's really depressing. I'm not going to really get into details about it, but it's a big problem, and part of why I started these blogs, and which evolved into these vlogs. Well, I just got to keep on plugging, and hopefully I can solve the problem quicker than it escalates. But we'll see. The big problem right now is the tax situation. If that's not covered, then there's going to be all kinds of hell to pay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'll have a good night.